it's Sam, and the lovely
Megan
is joining me today. She is going to be doing our seated exercises. So to start off, I want to make sure that your area is clear and free of tripping hazards. You're going to need some water because you want to take breaks as needed. We're going to be using dumbbells, but you can also choose to do this workout without. Using water bottles or soup cans is an idea as well. But first thing we're going to do is just let you know how important physical activity is for everyone, especially those living with a chronic lung condition like COPD. So this low intensity class is designed for people of all ages and all abilities, and to help you get moving. Before we begin, we want to go through just a simple technique called pursed breathing that will help you slow your breathing if you're feeling a little overwhelmed when you're exercising. All right, Megan, are you ready?
Ready.
Okay, so we're going to do this together. So I'm actually going to bring my chair a little closer. I get everybody to come to a seated position. We're going to sit up nice and tall, and I want you to relax your neck and your shoulders. All right, so first thing we're going to do is take a nice deep inhale in through our nose, but we want to make sure our mouth is closed. You can count here about 1 to 2 seconds. Then we're going to be having a slow exhale afterwards through pursed lips, just like you're blowing out a candle, like so. Now that exhale is really important that it's slower and longer than that inhale. So again, you can count about 4 seconds here. Okay, are we going to do this together? So pursed lip breathing. Relax the neck and shoulders. Nice deep inhale in through the nose, closing that mouth and counting to 2. Slow exhale, purse those lips for 4. Excellent job. Feels good. Helps you relax and slow that breathing down. So anytime, again, you feel like you need to control that breathing during our exercises, we're going to ask that you do that pursed lip breathing. All right. I think we're ready to get started. So today we are doing a full body circuit. We're going to be doing some cardio, some upper body, some lower body, some core exercises. You are going to be exercising top to bottom. We're going to get you moving and get you motivated. Just remember too, you can do this class in pieces if you want. You don't have to do all the class together. You can take a pause, come back later, or do a piece another day. It's at your level, wherever you are at today. All right. Let's do this. So first of all, we're going to get warmed up. Megan is going to be doing the seated version, and I am going to be standing. So I'm just going to move my chair out of the way. Now, you will be needing the chair later on for part of our workout as well, so just keep that nearby. And just one more reminder, we are going to be using either a rolled up towel or a small pillow as part of our workout. So if you want to go and get that now, and if you need to pause our workout, that's fine, but we're using that later on. Okay, let's do this. We're getting warmed up. So let's just start with some shoulder rolls. So we're going to stand up or sit up nice and tall, and we're going to roll those shoulders up and back. We always want to think about breathing with that movement, so we can inhale as the shoulders come up and exhale as the shoulders come down. We're just going to start off a little bit slower. Just give that body time to get warmed up. Just some nice slow movements. One more, shoulders rolling back. Now let's switch directions. Shoulders rolling forward. So a lot of what we're going to be doing during our warm-up is actually rehearsing for the workout. So you'll notice that we're doing a lot of movements that are very similar to the exercises we're going to be adding later on. Kind of like a rehearsal, right? Just getting ready. But not for the performance, but for the workout. Good. One last one. Excellent. Okay, let's get a little bit of whole body movement and add a march. So we're going to start pumping those arms and marching those legs. Now, something that you can do throughout our whole workout too is you can adjust your intensity by taking your arms out. So as soon as you drop your arms, especially below your waist, you're going to bring that heart rate down. So if at any point in time you're just feeling like it's a little too intense, you can just keep continuing with just that lower body movement. Megan's got some beautiful posture, sitting up in that chair, adding her seated march. A couple more seconds here. Just want to start feeling warm, getting those muscles ready, getting that heart rate elevated a little bit. All right. We're gonna move into some nice big movements. So we're gonna come to a stop and add a star lunge. We are all rock stars today, so I want you to have a nice, big, wide stance with your feet, a little wider than shoulder width apart. Extend your arms from your shoulders, palms facing out. So we have that star position. We're gonna take one hand, reach down to the opposite of that inside knee, keeping that head and chest up, and then coming back up to that star position. Alternating sides. So as I'm reaching, I'm bending that knee that I'm coming towards. Megan is hinging at her hips and just reaching toward opposite hand towards opposite knee. Just opening everything up. Again, continuing to get warm here. Keep breathing, don't hold that breath. We're gonna do one more each side. Last one, good. Let's just shake that all off. Shake those arms out, shake those legs out. Toe taps with an alternating reach. So I'm gonna tap one foot forward and reach the opposite arm forward. Getting a nice steady pace. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Megan's doing the same from seated. You might just need to adjust coming forward a little bit in your chair, just so that you have a little more freedom of movement. And again, adjusting your pace as you need to here. You can slow it down, or you can speed it up. Working those opposites, getting that brain working a little bit today too. 3, both sides, 2, last one. Good, okay. Now move a little side to side because the body moves in all directions, so we're gonna do a side step. I want you to bring your arms in front of your chest, elbows are bent, one arm resting on top of the other. We're gonna step to the side and pull the arms back. So Megan is stepping to the side of her chair as she pulls her arms back. We're opening up that chest, opening up that upper back. Whew. We're almost done that warm up. Stay tall here, whether you're standing or seated, focus forward. We don't want to be looking at the floor. 3, both sides, 2, last one. Good, okay, last warm-up move. Heel digs with an arm curl. And again, we're gonna work those opposites. So I'm gonna extend my leg forward, resting my heel, and then curl the opposite arm at the same time. Heel digs with an opposite arm curl. That's it. Stay tall, keep that head and chest up. So, at this point, you're gonna start to feel like your breath is a little harder to breathe. You can still carry on a conversation, but you are feeling warm. Last few seconds. 3, 2, last one. Good, okay. So we don't want to come to a complete stop because we are warm, we are gonna work out. Just wanna have a little march, a little step side to side, but I want you to get a drink. You're gonna get some water. Take a minute, catch your breath. If you need to practice that pursed breathing, you can do so. Okay, so let's get started. Full body circuit, top to bottom. Here we go. So circuit number 1, we are going to start with some cardio. So we have 2 moves we're gonna be doing. A cross-country ski. It is actually warm here, but what the heck? Cross-country ski, because it's fun. So a cross-country ski and a side tap with a pullback. So we're gonna start off with those, and then I am going to explain the rest as we go. But remember, we've got some upper body, some lower body, and some core exercises. So we're gonna keep changing it up to keep it interesting. Let's get these first moves on the go though. We're gonna be working for 30 seconds and have about a 20-second rest. But just remember, it's an active rest. So that means you wanna tap your toes, just kind of shuffle and keep moving in between. All right, Megan, are you ready? Let's start with cross-country ski. So our cross-country ski is extending one arm forward and stepping one leg back, then alternating. Now, adjusting that, smaller movements, arms not coming up as far, legs making smaller steps, right? From seated, Megan is stepping underneath that chair and then extending those alternate arms forward. Okay, let's do this. First move, cross-country ski for 30 seconds in 3, 2, 1. Stepping that leg back and extending that arm forward. Keeping our head and chest up nice and tall here. Smaller movements for less intensity. Remember to keep breathing here. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Shake it off. So while we're on a rest, I'm going to be demonstrating, but I want you to just kind of march it out, relax the shoulders. We are going to get into our second move. So side tap with a pullback. So very similar to what we were doing during our warm-up. We're going to extend our arms forward from our shoulders, palms facing in. As we tap to the side, pulling our arms back. 30 seconds of work. Rest is done in 3, 2, and 1. Step to the side, pull back. Smaller movements for less intensity, keeping those arms a little bit lower, or simply adding the legs. I got to be in time with you. Trying to be in sync with Megan over here. Tapping to the side, pulling back. For 3, 2, last one, both sides. Good job. All right. First cardio movement done. That heart rate is up a little bit, feeling a little bit warm, and we are going to get ready to move on to our strength exercise. So let's just take a little bit of a breath here. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth, and we are going to get ready to do our strength exercise. All right, biceps first. So I'm going to pick up my weights, and I am going to be choosing 5 pounds, and Megan is choosing 5s as well. So we are going to start with a bicep curl. So we're going to be doing 40 seconds of work this time with about a 20-second rest. So for those standing, just a soft knee, feet are firmly planted. We're going to drop those shoulders and relax that neck. You could just have your weights resting at your side with your palms in, and then we're going to curl those weights up to the shoulders and then slowly return to your side, making sure we're not swinging. Slowly lift, slowly lower, or alternating for less intensity. But we have 40 seconds of work. Are you ready, Megan?
Ready.
Working those biceps, girl. Let's do this. In 3, 2, and 1. So, inhale on the easy part, exhale on that hard part. So we can inhale as the arms are down, exhale as those arms come up. And Megan is alternating those bicep curls, but we're also making sure we're not rounding our shoulders forward or leaning back, but staying up nice and tall. Focus forward. Last few seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Okay, those arms should be feeling just a little bit warm, starting to work.
Yes.
We have a little bit of a rest here. Anytime you need a drink, please take one. We just want to relax those shoulders, take a little breath, because we are going to work the opposite. So the back of the arm, the triceps. So let's change this up a little bit. We're gonna step one foot just slightly forward. Megan will be doing the same in her seated position. We're going to hinge at our hips, making sure our head is lined up with our spine. Start with your weights hanging down at your side, palms facing in. Then I want you to bring them up and tuck them super close so your elbows are tight to your side. Now, kick those weights back. You've got it. One arm at a time, less intensity, but we have 40 seconds of work. I'm gonna give you a little bit of a side view here. All right, are we ready, Megan? Tricep kickbacks, 40 seconds. That's it, keeping that head lined up with the spine. Arms are nice and close, feeling those elbows brushing against your side. Let's do one more. Now I want you halfway to switch your lead leg. So switching and putting the other leg just slightly forward, hinging at our hips, and then back to that kickback. Working the back of that arm. From seated, Megan has hinged forward in her chair. Last few seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Whew. Okay, so we are moving on to lower body. I'm actually going to put my weights down because I won't be using any. And Megan, you can use weights if you'd like to for this, so that will add a little bit more intensity. So we'll start with the seated exercise. From seated, Megan's gonna be sitting up nice and tall. She can hang on to the sides of her chair if she wants, but she's gonna bring her knee up, extend her leg, bring her leg back in, and foot back down to the floor. Alternating, and that's her seated squat. For a little more intensity, she can rest weights just above her knees. From standing, I'm gonna bring my chair back in. I'm actually gonna be doing a sit to stand. So I'm gonna be starting out from a seated position. I wanna move a little bit more forward in my chair. I'm gonna bring my nose over my knees. My feet are firmly planted. And then I'm gonna come all the way up to standing, driving my weight into my heels, and then returning back to my chair and repeating. All right, are we ready?
Let's do it.
So we have 40 seconds, going at your own pace. Slow it down if you need to. All right, Megan, in 3, 2, and 1. Sit to stands, nose over knees. All the way up, nice and tall. Push that butt out, sit back down into that chair, and then repeat. And just remembering, going at your own pace. So you can slow this down, or you could take a break and join Megan in our seated position as well. All the way back down to that chair, nose over knees. All right, we've got time for one more. And last one. We are almost done that first circuit. So I'm going to keep my chair here because we're actually going to be doing a seated core exercise. So coming back down to my chair, our seated core exercise, I'm going to start with crossing my arms at my chest. Megan's going to be doing the same. Palms are resting on our shoulders. And what I want you to do is extend your leg out, and your heel is resting on the floor, a little bit of a bend in your knee. We're gonna lean back just slightly. As you come forward, as if you're doing a seated crunch, we're going to lift that heel up off the floor and then put it back down. From seated, Megan is gonna have a little bit more of a bend in her leg. It's a little less intense, and she's gonna bring that knee up. So lean back as she comes forward, drive that knee up, coming towards her arms. We have 40 seconds, just that one side. So whichever leg you want to start with, but just remember, because we're going to be switching on the next round. Okay, let's do this. Our seated core exercise with our leg extension for 40 seconds and begin. Slowly lean back, and as you come forward, either lifting that heel or that knee. And let's do it again. Slowly lean back, lean forward, and lifting that heel. Let's practice our breathing. Slowly inhale as we lean back. Slowly exhale as we come forward. And bending that leg and using that knee for just a little bit less intensity. A few more seconds. 3, 2, and last one. Okay, starting to feel like a little bit of work. Yeah, that's a little bit of exercise now. We're getting this done. Okay, first circuit is complete. So this is where I want you to make sure that you get some water, take a break. If you need to get your towel and just wipe your face off, I am going to get my water as well. We want to make sure that we're just a little bit of a march, a little bit of movement, so that we're not coming to a complete stop. Just taking a second and thinking about our body, and if we're tense, relaxing the jaw, relaxing the shoulders. We can just do a little shake it all out. Let's get back to that cardio once again. How are we feeling? You feeling good, Megan? You ready to go? Let's do a quick breath. Inhale in through the nose, exhale through the mouth. And we got this. All right, our first cardio move, we're going to be doing a wide step forward, or from seated, Megan is going to step out her legs 1 and 2 into a bit of a wide step. I'm going to step forward 1, 2, follow with a punch 1, 2, step back 1, 2, punch 1, 2. So wide step forward, wide step back, each time adding 2 punches. We can adjust the speed to lessen that intensity or to increase that intensity. Perfect. Making sure if you're seated, you come forward in your chair a little bit and just moving at your own pace here, going at your own level. All right, here we go. Round 3, first cardio move. Let's do this. In 3, 2, get those hands up and ready. 1, step it forward, punch, punch, step it back. I think we got a good rhythm going here. You can slow it down or you can speed it up. And again, taking those arms out if you need to, decreasing that intensity. Five seconds. Last one. Whew, I like that one, that was fun. Okay, here we go. So on to number 2. So our next one, we are actually going to be doing some hamstring curls. So we're going to be bringing the heels up towards the butt and then pulling the arms back. So heels coming up and then pulling the arms back. From seated, Megan is stepping underneath the chair as she swings her arms back. We're making sure we're keeping our head and chest up, nice and tall, seated or standing. Whew. Let's do this in 3, 2, and 1. Hamstring curls, heels coming up towards that butt, pulling the arms back. This is our last cardio move. We're gonna get back into that upper body. Slowing that speed down to change that intensity if you need to. Last 10 seconds. 4, 3, 2, last one, both sides. Cardio complete. All right, we are going to be moving back to some upper body. So for this last round, we're actually going to be working shoulders. So I want you to think about the weights that you're picking. I'm going to go a little bit lighter. So I'm going to go with 3s, and Megan is picking up 3s as well. So let's just take a second and adjust after that cardio. And again, thinking about our breathing and how we're feeling. Nice deep inhale in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And we are going to be doing lateral and then frontal lifts. So weights are resting at our side, whether we're seated or standing. We're gonna slowly raise those weights up to shoulder level, not going any higher, and slowly lower changing that intensity by lifting one arm at a time. Well, we have 40 seconds of work, slow and steady. All right, are we ready?
Ready.
And slowly lift, slowly lower. Inhale on the down, exhale on the up. Alternating arms for less intensity. Remembering to stop right at that shoulder. We're just being aware too, not swinging those arms, right? But slowly lift, slowly lower. That's it. 10 seconds. I don't know about you, my arms are feeling warm after all that work we've done. 3, 2, and last lift. Good. Okay, we are going to go to frontal lifts here. So working the front of the shoulders. Taking a second, we're on rest. Bring the shoulders down away from the ears. Relax that neck and jaw. We're resting the weights on our thighs. Palms are facing in and knuckles are facing out. Slowly raising again the weights coming up to shoulder level and then slowly lowering. Alternating for less intensity. Okay, 40 seconds of work in 3, 2, and 1. Inhale on the down, exhale as those weights come up, slow and steady. Halfway, 20 seconds left. Just keep that pace. And last one. All right, good job. Okay, so lower body, we're gonna come back down to a seated position, and this is where you're going to need your towel or your small throw pillow. So I'm gonna grab mine and come to a seated position. Now, Megan doesn't have anything, so I'm actually going to give you an option that you can do without as well. So if you don't happen to have that item, and I'll do that first, so I'm just gonna set that off to the side. What you can do is make your hands into a bit of a soft fist. You're going to place them between your legs on your chair with your knuckles facing down. Have a little bit of a bend in your elbows, sitting up nice and tall. And what we're gonna be doing is squeezing and just holding for 2 to 3 seconds and then releasing. So working those adductors, the insides of the thighs. Now, if you have that towel or that small throw pillow, you can use that and put that between your legs. So it's not meant to be anything stiff or heavy, but just to give you something to sort of push and then hold. If you're finding it a little too intense, you don't have to hold it as long, but the key is really sitting up nice and tall, feet are firmly planted. We can rest our hands on our legs if you're using that cushion. All right, are you ready, Megan?
Ready.
Let's do this. We have 40 seconds in 3, 2, and 1. Squeeze and hold, and then release. And we're doing that again, and just going at your own pace, but holding for 2 to 3 seconds each time, and then release. Can inhale as you squeeze and exhale as you are releasing. Almost feels like you're coming out of your seat. And then relax. Got about 10 more seconds. Two more, squeeze and release. And last one, squeeze and release. Good job. Okay, towel coming off to the side. And our last core exercise, because we are going to wrap this workout up. we're gonna be doing our row your boat. So for a little bit, I'll start actually, Megan, with a little bit less intense. You're going to extend your legs just slightly forward. Toes are pointing up, good bend in your knees, and you're going to clasp both your hands together. Leaning back just a little bit, but I want you to really think about your core here. So belly button drawn to spine. So you're thinking about tightening up those tummy muscles, and we're going to act as this is our oar. So our hands and our arms, we're going to row to the one side, come back to the center, row to the other side. For a little bit more intensity, we can straighten our legs just a little bit more. Just being aware we don't want to lean back too far and we don't want to hurt that lower back. So just a little bit of a lean back here, but we're going to row that boat for 40 seconds. All right, ready, Megan?
Let's do it.
Let's do this. The water's a little choppy today. Ready? In 3, 2, and 1. Coming back to that starting position. And then rowing. Megan's all fancy over here. She's got this down. She's in a kayak.
Yes.
Side to side. Keep that belly button drawn to spine. Adding a bit more of a bend in those knees if you're feeling pain in that lower back or unstable in that seated position. Inhale as the arms are in front. Exhale as you row to the side. 5 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Good job. All right, shake it all off, shake it out, because we're going to cool down and stretch. So let's take some time and get a little bit of a drink. Make sure we hydrate. After doing those 3 circuits of exercises. Okay, so you know what? I think we'll just stay in our chairs together and do our stretches from a seated position. It's a great way to actually really be aware of your form and your posture when you're seated. So let's just start with a little bit of a cool down because our heart rate is a little bit elevated and we've been working, so we don't want to move right into that stretch. So let's just start with some seated heel taps coming forward. We're just swinging our arms back and extending our legs forward, tapping our heels. We're keeping our arms nice and low. And we're thinking about that breathing. Inhale in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Last one. Good. Let's go back to those shoulder rolls. So let's firmly plant those feet, sit up nice and tall, and we're going to roll those shoulders around and back. And let's really start to focus on slowing everything down. Nice deep inhale as the shoulders come up. Slowly exhale as the shoulders come down. Let's reverse directions going forward. And last one. Good. Okay, let's move into that stretch. So let's start with that upper body. We're going to clasp our fingertips together and then reach up overhead. Now you don't have to reach as high, so you can come about halfway, just at head level if you'd like. We just want to stretch out that body nice and long and tall, stretching out that arms and that upper body. Nice deep inhale in through the nose. Slow exhale through the mouth. And closing your eyes if you'd like to. We're going to bring the arms down and just relax. And we're going to stretch out that chest and that back. So something to really think about when you're stretching is really being aware of it not being painful. We never want that stretch to cause pain, but just that little bit of a gentle pull and a little bit of discomfort. So we're going to take those hands and bring the palms to our shoulders. Our elbows are pointing out. And we're going to do our best to bring our elbows together. Again, not forcing it. If they're here, that's fine. Or bringing elbows all the way together. So we're stretching out that upper back. We're just going to hold that position. Again, maintaining that breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. So we just want to try and hold each stretch for about 20 seconds. Now we're going to slowly keep our hands on our shoulders and open those elbows up so that they are pointed out to the side from our shoulders. Now stretching out that chest. Maintain that nice, tall, seated position. So important to stretch after that workout within a few minutes while the muscles are warm. Good. Let's relax that upper body. Now, let's stretch out those shoulders. So, I want you to take one arm, reach it across the opposite side of your body, and taking the other arm and scooping just underneath, just below that elbow, and gently pulling that arm towards you. So you're going to feel that stretch in that upper back and in that shoulder. And again, just that reminder of intensity so you can just ease up a little bit if you're finding that it's too tight or it's painful. But this is all about now recovering and coming back to where we started. So we want that heart rate to come back down, want your breathing to slow down. And switch to the other side. So reaching across the opposite side, arm coming underneath, and gently pulling towards you, stretching out that shoulder and that upper back. Just really taking our time with our stretches. Let's do one more breath here. Okay, let's move to that lower body and stretch out those big muscles. Start with our hamstrings. So we're going to extend our one leg forward, heel is resting in the floor, toes are pointing up. We're going to hinge at the hip and we are resting on the opposite side. For a little bit more intensity, Megan can reach down towards her toes, but she wants to make sure her head and chest still stay up so that we're not hunching forward. And again, a little bit less intense. You don't have to go quite as deep or hinge as far forward. We're going to keep focusing on this one side and stretching that same leg. So coming back up, feet are beside each other. We're going to step that leg out to the side and a gentle push on the inside of that knee. So you're pushing that leg away from you and you're going to feel that on the inside of the leg and on the outside of that hip. But making sure we're not hunching forward, staying up nice and tall. Taking a little bit longer and we have a few more stretches. So we want to really stretch out that lower body. Bringing that leg back and now we're going to cross, stretching out that hip flexor. So Megan is going to cross ankle to ankle, changing that range of motion. It's a little bit less intense, pushing on the outside of that knee. I am going to cross ankle to knee, hinging forward slightly at my hips, and just gently pushing on the outside of that knee. Such a good stretch. So if you're seated for long periods of time, it's an excellent stretch. And let's move to the other leg. So we are going to go back to that hamstring stretch. So extending the opposite leg forward, toes are up, hinging at that hip. We are resting on that leg that we're not stretching. The reason being we don't want to push on that knee of that leg that we are stretching. So the opposite side. Keep breathing here. Don't hold that breath. And coming back up, sitting up nice and tall. Both feet are firmly planted. And we're going to again step out to the side. And then that gentle push from the inside of the knee, just pushing that leg away from you, sitting up nice and tall here, feeling that stretch on the inside of that leg, on the outside of that hip. And then we're going to come back and move back into that hip flexor stretch. So Megan is going to cross ankle to ankle. I'm going to cross ankle to knee, hinging forward slightly at my hips, and just that gentle push on the outside of the knee. Again, this stretch is really good for when you've been sitting for a long time and you're feeling tight. Just taking that few seconds and stretching. Okay, let's bring those feet back down to the floor. We're gonna sit up nice and tall and say congratulations for finishing your full body circuit. Thank you so much for joining us. And let's finish with one nice last breath. Nice deep inhale in through the nose, arms coming up. Slowly exhale through the mouth, arms coming down. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Have a great day.